Facebook and of Foursquare and of Twitter and of blogs is that we meet people. And that's what it's all about. That has its greatest value. It's not about monetary exchange of data, it's about human connections. Quote the Poutre Manifesto, the markets are conversations, and conversations are held by people. Publicness enables that. Publicness then enables collaboration. If you are Google or this wonderful company called Local Motors, and you open, or a journalist, and you open up your process, if you're public about your process, you are saying to your customers and to your public, help me finish this. It is a call for collaboration. So when a journalist says, in the middle of doing a story, here's what I know, here's what I don't know, what do you know, that is a call for collaboration. And it is possible only because she decided to open up the process as she did it. Rather than, as is our habit in an industrial economy, we wait until the very end to say, here, I'm finished, now you can have it. You're welcome.
Can you just go back to the first one?
What, for a picture?
Yeah.
Don't use that against me now, Andrew.
How does Jarvis style?
No! See, I'm in control of what I do. So it enables collaboration. I think that's absolutely critical. So when that journalist before said, we only want to give you this at the end, that's the problem with comments online, for example. The comments are filled with, as I used the word too much in the last session, assholes. But part of the problem is because comments are about, they say to the public, we don't want to hear from you until we're finished. And when we're finished, now you're allowed. We'll allow you to comment on what we've done. But by the way, we're going to run away because we really don't care what you have to say. Versus saying, while doing the reporting, what do you want to know? What do you know? What don't you know? Who should I talk to? What's wrong about this? What's right about this? That becomes collaborative and constructive, and it's made possible by becoming public and open in the process. Publicness builds trust. Some people don't like this, but when you hide things, people wonder what you're hiding. We certainly look at government that way, we look at companies now that way, and I think we're going to look at ourselves that way. The more you are open, the more you are authentic to being one person and knowing what that identity is, Andrew, then the more we trust you. Publicness frees us from this myth that I think imprisons us because of the industrial economy. When you spend 6 years tooling an auto factory to make the car, when it comes out, you have to convince yourself and your customers in advertising that it's perfect. And you know damn well it's not, Toyota. And that Toyota, I think, to build trust, I believe, should open up every repair record it has in a database. Because then its customers would find things that are wrong before Toyota would. It would save fucking lives. Publicness is a value and a benefit. And if you think that way, if you operate that way, that has value. Now, I don't want to drive the beta car, right? I don't want to fly in the beta jet, certainly. But I do want to recognize that everything is always getting better. Everything can always be improved. And if we think that everything we do has to be perfect, we're wrong. It also affects education. There's only one right answer to everything. No, it's a process. Publicness kills taboos. You would say that's bad, Andrew, yes, because you love taboos. But let's deal with one that I think we'll agree on. When people feel the need to stay in the closet, it's not because if they're gay, it's not because of problems that they have, it's a problem society has that forces them there. And the solution to that is to stand out of the closet and to say, fuck you, you got a problem with it? Now, to force someone out of that closet is an entirely different thing. But the courage that people had in this country, in this society, to come out of that closet and dare people to force them back in, to be public about who they are and what their identity is, that is what solves, I think, the problem of homophobia and bigotry in this country. So publicness has a political need and a benefit because it changes norms. Now, it may change norms in ways you don't like. I can't stand people open-mouth gum chewing. I hate that. My mother used to hate it. That's a norm people do all the time. Nothing I can do about it. Norms change, yes. But I think the idea that we can have this ability of publicness is important. Well, it doesn't grant immortality, but at least grants fame or credit. Being public, I just saw on Twitter, I've got to go back and correct it now, because this is Twitter's problem in retweets. People are attributing to me wonderful idea that privacy used to be free and publicness expensive. And it's not me, it's Sam Lessin. Can somebody please tweet that? It's Sam Lessin, founder of Drop.io. But publicness gives you credit, and it shows the provenance of what we do. Publicness does enable the wisdom of the crowd, the 97.3% accuracy in predicting box office success. That's important. Wikipedia is people who want to be public. In my research for my book, I find that from 500 years ago, when books became books, authors feared putting down their thoughts publicly and permanently. Now we can't wait to do it. Andrew and I are racing for our book deadlines, right? We want this publicness, but it's something that we have to adjust to all the time, and technology tends to make us want to do that. But we, as a people, know a lot of stuff. And if we all hide that from each other, we are, I think, at some point, stealing from each other. I'll ignore that. I'm in 23andMe. My DNA is in there. I have various conditions. You've heard about one. I got others too. Age is a terrible thing. At some point, if enough of us share our DNA and our conditions, we may find a correlation. And that correlation may have benefit. It may even save lives. That has value. If I go see that movie and I know it's crap, and I don't tell you that, and I know you're going, you have a right to be mad at me. Jarvis, you should have told me you knew it was crap. There's wisdom in this crowd. And I think that we will get to the point in society, this will now set you up, we will get to the point in society in which not to share certain things, though are right, will be seen as selfish and antisocial. Not to share our health data, not to share our knowledge. Lippy, the service that lets you share your credit cards, also becomes a means for a transparent marketplace. I want to go on the plane with Wi-Fi, and I want everyone to go in and tweet what they paid for their seat, so we create a transparent marketplace. Wouldn't that be great? It's going to hurt the airline, but it's good for us. Making money through opaqueness in marketplaces will not work anymore. All right, I'm almost done because I want to get out there and talk. Shut up. Hold on, thank you. Publicness organizes us. Right? Hugh Clay Shirky. I follow the law that one must play at least once every morning in a conference. We made it. We can organize without organizations. Publicness enables us to stand together and find each other and organize movements and organize ourselves politically and do things that matter far more than economies, as Marx said. It's about a political economy, and publicness is the fuel for that. We stand together, we organize. It protects us. This one's controversial. I don't have a problem with the body scanners, folks. I've already shown my, talked about my penis online. What the hell? You know what? Surprise! I have one. Barely. So I don't see a big deal, and I was there on 9/11, and I watched worse pictures than me naked, believe me, that day. So security and publicness matter too, because it's part of trust. Publicness creates value. It creates this wisdom of the crowd. It creates things like Wikipedia, and that value is ours. And I think there's a danger here. When the government in Germany tells Google Street View not to take pictures, it is devaluing the public sphere or the public space that we, the public, own. It's ours. And I think we have to fight for that. And the tool that we have for publicness is our internet. It is the tool that is enabling us all to do this. It creates our public society. So I had the hubris to write a Bill of Rights in cyberspace. This is a changeable document. But part of the problem is I think we're relying on companies like Google right now to stand up to their principles in China and to not do so in net neutrality. And the problem is people like me whine and complain about it, but what are we doing? Where do we have the principles to point to say that's what we should be doing? We need to write those. So I disagree plenty with mine, but I think that we've got to create our view of our principles of this new world so we have something to point to. Finally, I'm thinking of publicness and privacy as ethics. And that when I give Mark information, the burden of that information now, and the responsibility now rests on his shoulders. What does he do with it? It's already gone for me. It's too late. I trusted them.